My name is Hayden Keller. I live here in Castle Rock.
Hi, my name is Jordy.
My name is Pam Tafoya. I live in Colorado Springs.
My name is Bill Lloyd. I live here in Castle Rock.
I'm Ben Kemper. I live here in Castle Rock.
I've been doing Krav Maga for almost 6 years now, which feels really crazy.
I've been coming here to Rocky Mountain, I don't know, going on 5 years now. Started back in 2015.
I had a coupon on my desk actually sitting there for about 3 years before I actually showed up. Obviously it was expired by the time I came in, but after my first class I knew I was hooked.
I decided that I wanted to try Krav Maga to learn more about self-defense.
I first started when I was about 14 years old, and at the time dealing with bullying and just wasn't at the best place in my life.
I really like the physical fitness aspect of it, the self-defense aspect of it. It just giving me the confidence knowing that if things happen, I'm able to take care of myself and my family.
Now I can honestly say I'm in the best shape of my life. It's become an addiction for me. If I don't come in and work out a couple times a week, I find that I start getting a little cranky and, I've got to go get my exercise on.
I stay because, one, it keeps me in shape. Two, it's one of those things where, it's not just a seminar that you can come and you'll be able to protect yourself. It's something that you have to consistently stay up on.
The thing that I love most about Krav Maga is the confidence that you get from it. The knowledge of that you can go about your daily life and even get into some situations that might be a little hairy sometimes, and you can look around and go, all right, we're cool. I know how to approach this situation.
John Hallett from Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Fitness. I'm the owner and head Krav Maga instructor and one of our CrossFit instructors as well. My wife Jenny and I invite you to come on in and try a couple classes out and see what you think.
Hey everybody, Sean Hicks here from CRCO with a random edition of Castle Rock Hangouts. Here hanging out with John Hallett of Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Training. How you doing, John?
I'm great. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Appreciate you taking some time out of your day and also the bizarre schedule of trying to get you scheduled to come on, so thanks for that.
Not a problem.
So for those who don't know who you guys are, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Fitness is.
We are a Krav Maga self-defense gym and a CrossFit functional fitness gym. So we've kind of got our two sides of the gym, diversifies a little bit. I'm in charge of the front side, which is the first room in our building is Krav Maga. And then the back side is my wife heads up that CrossFit program. And then we've got our Krav Maga satellite location up in Meridian Village off of Lincoln Ave, doing just Krav Maga and just kind of boot camp-ish fitness up there.
So everyone I talk to says you're the guy for Krav Maga. And I got a question too. Do you pronounce it Krav Maga or Krav? Because I've probably been pronouncing it wrong forever.
Krav Maga.
Krav. All right. Very cool. So what exactly is Krav Maga? Can you give us a little bit of a history of it and a little bit of a background?
Krav Maga is the Israeli self-defense and fighting force, or what the IDF uses. So it came out of Israel. Super practical is the short story. It's battle tested. We do everything from ground to stand-up fighting, weapon defenses, kind of you name it. It's a bit MMA when somebody doesn't know what we're talking about. We're like, it's not a traditional martial art. But, we have kicks to the groin and like, what are you going to do at any cost? You're not in a ring. There's nobody there going to pull the other guy off of you. What can you do at all costs to save yourself or your family? So kind of no rules, no rituals, just straight to the point. Krav Maga is a great workout. So it came to the United States in the mid 80s and has just kind of blown up in the 18 years. I think I was talking to one of my guys today. I think I'm going on my 19th year.
Wow.
Of God training. So I tracked that off my oldest son's birthday. Is my one of my first classes was his birthday. So
okay, very cool. We'll have to find those videos, and for those who are watching, make sure you go to YouTube and type in Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Fitness and look at some of those videos, because John takes a beating on some of those, like the one where you fly into the river. Did that not hurt?
No, it actually didn't. It was the walk back from
Okay.
to the gym on the rec path, and then people going by me like, "Why are you sopping wet?" And I think it was early spring when we shot that video. God, it's been about 5 years ago now. It was just freezing cold.
Yeah, and Plum Creek looked like a river in that shot. It wasn't the typical Plum Creek you see
Yeah,
when you walk by.
yeah, that was our safety measures was like scanning for rocks and like don't fall on a rock in the river.
Yeah, yeah, very cool.
That was a fun one.
Yep. Okay, so how is this whole are you considered a gym first of all? Is that how you're classified or
We're waiting for clarification on that. My
okay.
wife is a HR director for Davy Coach over in Sedalia, and it's very unclear. One of our members has connections there of where martial arts are in, a CrossFit gym is falling, where we're, kind of like the yoga studio, all these small martial arts schools. We're not a big giant gym. So we're kind of hoping for some clarification come Friday. I just sent out a poll to our members and trying to get, a read on where they're falling on all of this. And overwhelmingly, it's been coming back. We want to open, one of ours was, with face masks or a shield, or what type of precautions do you want to see? And overwhelmingly, they're coming back. We just want to get back to classes as normal.
Yeah,
So,
I bet. Yeah, no doubt.
And go ahead.
Yeah. So you guys are obviously doing some different things as far as online schools and whatnot. Why don't you give us a little bit of background of and how people can still continue to do that?
The simplest way is to visit our website, which is rmsdf.com. And we've been putting everything that we have from just basic Zoom classes on there. We'll usually post a couple of those out. And then we also have our Clear Sky channel, which is all our technique, is where we kind of consolidated all of our Krav Maga technique to try to differentiate where our different students can go. And that always seems to be, the hard part. And we're kind of branding that also as its own portal separate from Rocky Mountain, as like an online tutorial kind of school, and try to play it out as a bigger venue.
Got it.
Potentially. So on our website, we've been just telling our students, they're like, we see some stuff on Facebook, and we're like, it's just been taking so long to upload videos. And even at the beginning of all this, some of our videos were taking 3 hours to upload to YouTube, and then upload it to Facebook between the internet connection and then, encoding the video on Adobe Premiere Pro and trying to make it look halfway decent for some of them. Some of them, no editing whatsoever, and just threw it out there. And some we tried to make a little bit more long-term and long-lasting if we were going to do it. So we kind of took some of this COVID time of making some videos that our students can use for years to come. It was one of my make the best of COVID. What can we do? Right.
Yeah. No kidding. So, how have people been receptive to that? I don't know. Me, for an example, I've not enjoyed video, but it's kind of one of those necessary things. All of my meetings are on Zoom and things like that, so each day gets a little bit easier. Do you kind of notice that with people that are attending school and things like that? Each time they get a little more comfortable doing it. What's your input on that?
Yeah, people that are doing it are getting more comfortable doing it. A few have said, I don't really like seeing myself on Zoom on a YouTube feed or whatever. So we're trying to limit that type of stuff. There's some good stuff, especially on our Krav Maga side has been really affected where so much of their stuff is with a partner. It's hard to do groundwork in the air. Some stuff you can, you can shadow box.
Sure. Yeah.
There's things, some good things have come out of it, but you don't really get that feedback of having a partner has been the overwhelming, sense of the people that are on there. Like, okay, it's not the same feedback, but there's been some good things. We definitely, I've taken a few things away and going, I'm going to do these in regular classes now that we never did this type of drill. And we've modified some of our different drills. Like we have one called Virtual Bull in the Ring, where you get multiple people kind of attacking you. It's all by surprise, testing your technique. And it's not meant as like 5 guys jumped you. It's just meant to fatigue you. And, things are coming at you when you're not ready. So we've been doing a virtual bull in the ring, and I've seen some great things come out of it. So I'm like, we're definitely going to use it in addition to like our real drill.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Huh.
the kids have been a little bit better and more recent. I think our kids' Zoom classes are the biggest classes that we have, so they're definitely
Yeah.
more receptive.
That makes sense. I know our kids, they love any chance they can get to jump on Zoom or Google Hangouts with their classmates and things like that. It seems like the technology side of it really drives them, and it's a good way to keep them busy too. I think the more online Zoom classes that are beneficial to them is definitely a benefit to the parents. So if someone is interested in maybe trying one out with their kids and you, what's the best way to kind of get involved and check things out?
Best way to just go to the website again, rmsdf.com, and message us off of there. There's some links on the bottom of the page just to even just start doing some of the training at home. We have a bunch of follow along lessons that they can do as a family. There's quite a few different things on there, from a push up workout to some basic somebody's bear hugging you was actually the lesson that came out today.
Oh, wow.
That ran through, here you can follow along, do this at home. That one was a different one that I added, and do 10 push-ups and 10 squats in between each bear hug exercise, trying to get them doing things a little different. So,
Yeah.
But if they want our Zoom links, they can just message us and we'll get them set up with the Zoom classes, and they can try anything that we're doing.
And do you do the trials on the Zoom classes too? If someone wants to check it out and see if it's right for them, is that something you guys offer?
Yes. Yeah. We always have our free class. And actually, one thing we decided to do was give away $10,000 in memberships as coming out of COVID relief. We're like, all right, we're going to give, I think it was 60 people. We're going to give them all a month membership to come in and do classes, no obligation. The only obligation was if they quit, we were going to charge them. My wife kind of told me in her HR voice that was kind of blunt, but I'm like, well, if these people are going to come in and take 2 or 3 classes and waste our time and the classes time, that's a waste of trying to get this, free month membership.
Yeah.
Or longer, depending on what we have a questionnaire application that they can fill out and try to, qualify. And we're looking for good qualified applicants. And part of it was, if you don't make 8 classes, then you had to pay $100 for what I put was wasting our time, wasting the classes time.
Which is still not bad.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, if you're serious about it versus kind of somebody just looking for something free and going to come in once or twice. I'm like, hey, if you're serious about starting, a fitness program, starting a self-defense program, come on in. Or it's not a place just to dump off your kids for a month, which we've had those type of programs that we've done. And people were like, oh yeah, we were just doing that for the summer. We just did that trial. We had no intention of ever becoming a member. It's one thing when somebody's like, it's not for me. And I'm like, okay, great. Maybe this program is more up your alley. I'm like, you might be looking for a real MMA school that, if you want to go and do a smoke or, do a Thai boxing fight, maybe you should go over here. So we try to we want people to be in the right fit. So our feelings never hurt if somebody doesn't like our program. CrossFit and Krav Maga is not for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's something that we see as consumers a lot. And on the business owner side, I 100% get it. I mean, you have something scheduled with someone, you're pushing off other potential clients and customers and things like that. And if they're unable to show up, that's, that puts a burden on the businesses, and you kind of expect to kind of fill that space, I guess, with that. And you see that a lot with doctors' offices and everything else. So it shouldn't be a surprise. But in addition to that, you're doing it for free on top of it. So that's kind of like a double whammy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how many people won't show up for their scheduled trial or whatever it's going to be, whether it's a free class or trial, or, they want to come in and meet us and talk about the program. They won't even show up and give you the courtesy of a phone call or a text message. So now on this program, I was like, I'm just right to the point.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be. Yep. Totally. I get that. And I know when I brought my kids over there, back when we were allowed to go out in public for more than a couple minutes with a couple people, they were like dying to go to class. And then that was shortly after that, all this stuff kind of happened. But it was really cool to see how much those kids really enjoyed going there. I know just my kids watching were like they came home and their eyes were lit up, and faces were super bright, and they're like, Mom, we want to do this Krav Maga. And it's cool. Yeah. So, and then on the adult side too, I've had the opportunity to interview a lot of the people that go there, over the last year, and it's clear that, it's a passion that you guys have. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we love instilling confidence in people. That's our number one thing. Both sides of our gym. We just love people getting more confident, feeling good about themselves. That's number one. It makes everything else in business well worth it.
Yeah, totally.
The side of it and the reward is well worth all the aspects of business.
Like that video we played in the beginning, where one of the guys was talking about kind of getting bullied and whatnot back in high school, and how it built that confidence for him. And it's just kind of, it's powerful. I wish this is something, that I had back in the day. It's pretty neat, but it's great for adults too, right? Adults get bullied, believe it or not.
Yeah. I mean, plenty of adults, feel the same way, boost their confidence. They feel great about themselves. And, sometimes we say, life can beat you down. Work can be hard. This is a place we want to build people up and make them feel good. And definitely we see a lot of people with, even as a kid, I was picked on as a kid. We have a lot of giant guys that are like, I'm 6'3" and 250 pounds, but I don't know how to defend myself. And they learn how to defend themselves. They get stronger, they get fitter, whatever it is in our gym. And you can just see the confidence, and how that filters into everyday life. So it's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. And it's rmsdf.com, correct?
Yes. Yep. So the abbreviation for Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Fitness.
And I went ahead and just dropped that in the comments across all of the feeds that we're sending this out to. So if anyone has any questions, rmsdf.com. What would you say the best thing about now is for you guys, and then also maybe the most challenging thing that you're going through?
Well, we've started off with going, okay, we're going to make these lessons and these videos. We've changed out all our light. Well, I won't say all our lighting. About 90-something% of our lighting to LEDs from the fluorescent lighting in the gym. We've painted, and we've got Justin from Big Dog Graphics doing a bunch of graphics for us at both locations.
Awesome.
You'll probably be mad at this one because there's supposed to be a graphic right behind me for when I'm doing just quick videos.
Oh, okay.
To our members or put on Facebook or whatever. So he's working on a graphic for behind me and a bunch of other ones. So we've just been stuff we've been putting off, like, okay, that wall could be repainted again. And we've been repainting and putting in new lights and trying to make the best of it that way, and making videos and, cleaning out the garage.
Oh yeah.
and the attic, because we moved over here and opened up in 3 days. There's still stuff in our eaves in this building, and I'm like, all right, we've got to clean this stuff out. It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
We haven't touched it. This equipment needs to go on Craigslist.
That's funny. So, yeah. Cause I feel like my house has been the cleanest it's been in a long time, because I sit, where I'm here all the time, and so I got plenty of time to clean and paint. I actually just finished a really cool brick wall behind my bar that I've been pushing off for months. Got to spruce up the man cave and whatnot. So, yep, that definitely is a good thing about right now, is at least you have the time to finish up some of those projects that you've been sitting around. I need to do the LED lighting thing too. That's something that's been on my list for a while now. I just not too excited to go to Home Depot, so I've been pushing that off a little bit. But
yeah, I got lucky. One of my guys, coaches and longtime members, Bill Anderson of Arc Electric, really helped us out and banged it out for us. And I used to be a carpenter 14 years ago. 14 years ago, I grew up my father was a general contractor. I became a general contractor until I decided to do this full time. I guess it was 15 years ago. So putting a lot of my old skills back to use, and doing some sheetrock repair and freshening up the bathrooms here. But I think the most frustrating part is that just seeing what's essential and not. I've kind of been at wit's end, I think, the last day or two, of going, dispensaries and liquor stores are essential, but health and fitness and personal protection is evidently not essential. So I've been kind of on a little personal tear on that phrasing of what's essential, and a small gym compared to a bigger gym. I think, is the governor going to come out with something where, is it square footage? What is the classification? Because there's just so many small Krav Maga, martial arts, Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu gyms, CrossFit gyms that are across the state and the country that are small and, really can't take this beating of, having no leads. I actually just had, we've had a few leads come in off our COVID relief, and then just a random, we've had those since we launched, I just launched that just yesterday. We just had our second lead come in 2 months because it's just been radio silence for everybody. I really feel people have been off the rails. There's a lot of uncertainty. I don't like the fear aspect of a lot of what's going on out there.
Yep.
We're about building confidence, and I really hate some of this fear stuff that's coming from mainstream media and even our governor. He's kind of been ticking me off since the start of his comment that the Grim Reaper will enforce the stay-at-home order. I'm like, I'm really not about the fear in people. I didn't like that comment. I think he could have phrased that a lot better. And some of his recent comments have been close to the same. So I think that's been my biggest struggle. But that's off on a rant.
I'm with you. I could talk about that forever. It's hard for me because, we work with so many different small businesses, and some of them are just on the verge of shutting their doors. And sure, like the restaurants with the curbside and takeout is fine, but it's not even coming close to being able to help them pay their bills, and then other people that are completely shut down. It's definitely challenging, and it's hard to watch. And this whole SBA loan thing, not to go off on a tangent on my own, has been a complete train wreck with the small companies, trying to get this relief funding. And if they're and then I saw a published post of all these giant public companies that received millions upon millions and millions of dollars, taking away from these smaller companies that actually need it. So that's a whole nother tangent for me for another day.
Yeah,
but
I know. I think people need community, and I think martial arts, fitness, or especially like CrossFit, Krav Maga, and I know like any martial arts, jiu-jitsu guys, it's all like, it's about community. And I think that's the hardest thing with Zoom. People don't have that community. They don't have that coming together, and people want that. They want that interaction with other people, and that motivation of coming someplace. Their routine has been uprooted, and I think it's getting really frustrating for a lot of people at this point. So let's be safe. I mean, what I say we've got a $5,000 floor scrubber that we purchased, I guess it was last year. Time flies, but we've had it for probably about a year plus, that we invested in cleaning our gym. I mean, we're all about being clean and proper safety measures. And I tell people every year, we have a post on Facebook and all our other channels of like, if you're sick, don't come to the gym.
Right, yep.
If you're feeling good, that's just good etiquette. It's what you should be doing. I hate when somebody goes, oh yeah, I wasn't feeling good and I came in. I'm like, you're the guy that got everybody sick. So just so you know, you're on my bad list, and there's a lot of burpees in your future.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're a 40-year-old guy, like, come on. You felt like you were coming down with the flu. Don't come to the gym. I say it every year, and I'm like, you get the staff sick, we're going to have to close our doors, like, you can't get everybody sick. So just be smart. Don't be selfish. We want you here using your membership, but be smart. So that's kind of how we're looking at coming back of, hey, we're taking a few more precautions, and, even trying to find, I was on with our rep today for Rev Gear Sports of, hey, what is the best stuff that we can be getting cleaning wise that meets the current coding for COVID and everything else. So, but everybody's slammed. I mean, you can't get product. I mean, luckily he can get some stuff for me to get us up and going. But we're looking at our other channels, and I went, hey, let me check Rev Gear. I know they have a partnership with this mat company or this cleaning product for wrestling mats to everything else. They kind of sell like body wipes for jiu-jitsu and, is one of their big markets of like body wipes. You can wipe yourself down after. So I was like, I know they got that partnership. So I called him up, and after he went on a tangent about what's going on, and I did the same. And we're like, all right, down to business. I need to get some stuff for cleaning the mats, and we're getting the wipes to wipe down. What's the difference between products? Can the body wipe, can it wipe down a kick shield? Can it wipe down a barbell and a kettlebell? What's the answers on those?
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of that stuff, as well as I hopefully just wrapped up our paycheck protection program loan today. Hopefully,
that's good. Good.
So I already took another ginormous chunk of a day today. So hopefully that comes. I mean, it's not much being a small, I think I saw that. Did you see the Shake Shack?
Oh yeah. Then they returned it, but the 11 million or something like that. I know it was a lot.
Crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
It's a small thing. It's something, hopefully, just being clear on all the standards. It's kind of crazy of like, this is supposed to pay our coaches for 8 weeks. Most of them are part-time. So you're like, we're supposed to use all these funds in 8 weeks. Are we supposed to pay people ahead? What if they quit? So it's working through all those kind of things of meeting the requirements of the payback aspect.
So is this from the first round or from the supposed second round that they just approved?
This is from the first round.
Okay.
We were, as soon as we got the link we use KeyBank here. As soon as we got the link, we were like, oh my gosh, and trying to get it all completed and everything they wanted and submitted as soon as we could, because we knew it was going to be slammed, and just try to get it in and hope for the best. And it had been sitting as approved for the last week, and loan docs are coming. But today last night we got some paperwork, and besides ID verification kind of being a pain on their process of their DocuSign, they got that worked out. It was not scanning my license correctly. So they had to do a workaround for that. But
yeah, it seems like a lot of these smaller banks like KeyBank had luck. The larger banks, at least most of the complaints that I've seen through like our local business alliance and just kind of around online, is that the larger banks, and we're an example of that. We're with Wells Fargo, and they told us 2 days before it ran out that we could finally apply. And it seems like that's kind of been the story with the bigger guys.
Yeah, we have actually. That was like another glitch in my afternoon, because once we got the paperwork, they were trying to submit it to our KeyBank account, and we're like, we don't have our Rocky Mountain is not set up here. We just use KeyBank for it. We use it for our mortgage, so we were able to apply through KeyBank, and that was our fear with Wells Fargo. But then in the paperwork, and I was like, we don't have, like, where are we depositing this, and what's the right rules? And the woman was like, oh, that's a good catch. You can't deposit it. You have to deposit it into your Rocky Mountain account. So we had to then get some additional wire transfer instructions to go over to our Wells Fargo account. So it seems to be okay, but it was, again, like, good thing you caught that, because we're like, we don't want to break any rules and have to pay back the entire amount, or who knows what, or kind of be on their bad list of that stuff. And I just saw the town sent out a survey to small businesses, and I think it was, what was that? Is it the EDL, that disaster relief loan, that $10,000 that was supposed to be
through the EDC through the town?
Yeah, no, it was through, I thought it was the government disaster relief, that initial 10,000.
Oh, okay.
That was out there. I mean, I submitted an application on that at the very beginning and have not heard back on that one.
Yeah.
So,
well, you have to keep us posted on what you come up with as far as determining whether or not you guys are able to reopen and all that. And if you do, let us know so we can throw a big announcement out there for you guys.
Yeah, I'm also like I'm all for playing by the rules and being safe, but my wife told me, she's like, last night at 8 o'clock, she's like, it looks like they're classifying us as a gym. They're not being clear. So she was all upset that we wouldn't even be able to open with, limited class sizes, 10 people? Can we open with small class sizes to square footage? So I was up this morning, I think at like 3:30, just woke up, kind of small business mind, and going, what if I do a protest? Can I protest? And our protest is we're going to work out and we're going to do Krav Maga. We're going to do CrossFit in the back parking lot. It's a protest to the governor's orders. Was kind of one of my thoughts of like, this is how we're going to reopen. Anybody that wants to wear a face mask, so we don't get those comments that are going around in these national protests. But I'm like, hey, we're small, and these people are here all on their free will. We're not, nobody's forcing anybody. It's not like the grocery store or going into the liquor stores. And I'm all for having a good time and celebrating with friends. So don't, this health and fitness guy, I'm not bad mouthing liquor stores or dispensaries. Like, do what you want, as long as you're being safe and not affecting minors. But I'm like, you can go to Bubbles and have a conversation when I'm bumping into strangers in Bubbles, I'm bumping into my members in Bubbles, and you're like,
right.
Yep. Place open. These guys can't come to our parking lot or into our gym on their own free will and do a workout if they're all, we're all being safe. I mean, I'm worried about the flu every year. So I'm like, I can't go down. I teach, probably 70% of the classes on our Krav Maga side. I don't want to go down and be sick and try to find a guy to replace me that's, working a full-time job and, coming in here once or twice a week and teaching, an hour class. So I'm worried about it every year.
I'm with you. Well, I appreciate you hanging out. I feel like I could sit here and talk for probably hours. It's kind of feel good. It's nice to talk to an adult too.
It's not time because yesterday we were at my stress relief and my wife. I think we're on our 4th or 5th 1,000-piece puzzle. I was like, we'll do the puzzle for a couple minutes. I've got a Zoom class, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, it's exactly 6:30. I'm supposed to be on Zoom right now. So at least it was all queued up on my computer. But I'm like, boom, start the class. I'm like trying to relax. And I'm like, oh, I'm talking to Sean. I can talk to him all day. I'm like, oh, I still have 20 minutes before my kids' class. So,
okay. So when you got a class today then?
Yeah, I've got a kids' class, and then I think we have an adult CrossFit class. And then I put out we kind of we're staggering them so they're not too small. I mean, they're way smaller than a normal class, but even our kids, we've been opening up the Zoom classes that they can just start whenever they want to click on the link. So we've been having, even our kids are joining, 5-10 minutes early, and they're hanging out on Zoom. And we've been leaving it open and going, hey, all right, I'm going to step away for a little bit and let you kids talk and hang out on Zoom for a little bit. Because, a lot of their friends are at the gym, with all these different elementary schools. They have that friend that comes to CrossFit Kids, that friend that, they do Krav Maga with. So just like our adults, so we've been leaving the CrossFit our Zoom meetings open especially for our kids so they can catch up amongst each other. So they seem to be enjoying it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. That's really cool. Well, awesome, John. Well, I'll let you I'll make
John, it. Really appreciate you. And, we need to make another video soon. They're so much fun.
I know they are. Yeah.
So we've been making some goofing around ones. We've got a couple of funny ones. I've been trying to throw in some outtakes of my guy up in that's runs the Meridian location, Jason, of whoops, you didn't really block that kick and you got kicked in the head. You were supposed to block that one, and doing funny outtakes for our members of, hey, we're goofing off trying to make you laugh. Look at Jason get kicked in the head. So
I'll have to show you. Let me show you this real quick. I don't know if you can see it back there. Let me move it out of the way. But there's a big camera on the camera stand.
Yeah.
It's a cinematography 4K Panasonic camera that I want to put to use. So once we're allowed to, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm like, that one thing as a gym, you're going, oh my gosh, that's all the stuff you need to run a gym now, and lighting and stuff you never thought of, 25 years ago that I thought
Yep.
I need a better camera and I need to know about cinematography just to put out a lesson on, how to do an arm bar from top mount. It's
yeah,
funny.
right.
So it's a different world.
Well, you guys do really good videos. So, I mean, the ones that you do on your own are awesome. So,
Yeah,
and I'm assuming those are just cell phones. Are you using cameras for those, or?
No, I'm just using my Samsung phone, and editing them on Adobe Premiere Pro is kind of fun. It's kind of a different outlet on the business side. I really enjoy that artistic side my entire life. I found a new outlet between Adobe Illustrator, doing t-shirts and stuff like that, but it's really been all about the video lately. So it's fun. And, like everybody else, you can learn a lot on YouTube. So
no doubt. That's what I'm doing. I mean, all this equipment and software that I'm using to do these, I've been through 3 different ones so far. And sometimes there's goof ups like earlier today. I use a service called Restream, which takes your stream and then puts it out to multiple platforms. And they just had an update to their software, and I went and updated all the descriptions and everything, but they didn't actually update on the feed. So that's why I had to. You probably saw my eyes. I was going like this, hurrying to put your name on everything, so it wasn't missed and whatnot. But it's kind of fun.
That you sold a while back on CRCO. I think you had some of your old equipment. I'm like, oh, that could be good for me, and then it was gone before I could say. Sure. So
yeah, I'll let you know ahead of time if I plan on swapping out equipment again.
I'll gladly take your downgrade.
I wanna test this one out. This is the new GoPro 8 Black, and it's got some really cool like slow-mo features and stuff like that. So we'll have to test that too.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Sean. Again, we're going on a little. Thanks a lot.
Hey, anytime. Yeah, it's good. Good hanging out. Keep us posted on what you got going on there. I'm happy to talk about it and post it whenever.
Happy to help anybody out that wants to get in for that 30 days with our COVID relief. We'll gladly give them 30 days. So check that. That's on our website as well. So thanks a lot, Sean.
rmsdf.com.
Yeah, everything you do for all the local small businesses, we all thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
It's awesome.
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah, thank you guys as well.
Thanks.
All right, John, take care. Thanks for joining me.
Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye.
My name is Hayden Keller. I live here in Castle Rock.
Hi, my name is Jordy.
My name is Pam Tafoya. I live in Colorado Springs.
My name is Bill Lloyd. I live here in Castle Rock.
I'm Ben Kemper. I live here in Castle Rock.
I've been doing Krav Maga for almost 6 years now, which feels really crazy.
I've been coming here to Rocky Mountain, I don't know, going on 5 years now. Started back in 2015.
I had a coupon on my desk actually sitting there for about 3 years before I actually showed up. Obviously it was expired by the time I came in, but after my first class I knew I was hooked.
I decided that I wanted to try Krav Maga to learn more about self-defense.
I first started when I was about 14 years old, and at the time dealing with bullying and just wasn't at the best place in my life.
I really like the physical fitness aspect of it, the self-defense aspect of it. It just giving me the confidence knowing that if things happen, I'm able to take care of myself and my family.
Now I can honestly say I'm in the best shape of my life. It's become an addiction for me. If I don't come in and work out a couple times a week, I find that I start getting a little cranky and, I've got to go get my exercise on.
I stay because, one, it keeps me in shape. Two, it's one of those things where, it's not just a seminar that you can come and you'll be able to protect yourself. It's something that you have to consistently stay up on.
The thing that I love most about Krav Maga is the confidence that you get from it. The knowledge of that you can go about your daily life and even get into some situations that might be a little hairy sometimes, and you can look around and you go, all right, we're cool. I know how to approach this situation.
John Hallett from Rocky Mountain Self-Defense and Fitness. I'm the owner and head Krav Maga instructor and one of our CrossFit instructors as well. My wife Jenny and I invite you to come on in and try a couple classes out and see what you think.